1-year financial deep dive. We are going to get down into some actual numbers for the year 2019. Going to be looking at a profit and loss statement, and as well as a separate statement to break things down as far as income and deductions, both showing when I was a solo driver and since my boyfriend has been driving with me. These numbers are with a lease truck, so you can see there's money to be made. On this statement, we're going to explore the fourth quarter from September to December 2019, and then as well as the year-to-date numbers there. Those numbers will be broken down a little bit further on the other statement as well. Let's get down to it. So at the top of the page here, December 2019, the first two columns are going to be showing numbers for the fourth quarter. So for fourth quarter, total income $71,521.33 as shown in green. And as we move down that column there, I did forget to highlight, my apologies, but for fuel in red, we see $21,000 and some change for that fourth quarter. You know, the other fees that are associated with trucking as well, licenses, insurance, tolls, all that good stuff. And then the other big hitter, the truck payment. This is a lease truck, so we pay every week, and it is quite a bit. So the fourth quarter total truck payment was $23,174.76. And so for the fourth quarter, the total expenses, all expenses included, the only thing not being shown here is tax, but that was $47,223.50 for the last 4 months of the year. And then the profit for that last quarter was $24,297. And now we'll take a look at the year-to-date, shown in blue at the top of the page there. And the last two columns will be the year-to-date numbers. So for total for the year of 2019, revenue was $213,407.91. As we move down the line here, fuel total for the year $59,848.82. Okay, looking at that, that is 28.04% of the whole year's money right there. And skipping down to the other heavy hitter, the truck payment, in red, $68,748.32. That being 32.21% of all income for the year. Now we look at the total expenses, total for the year, $145,683.37. 68.27% of all of my profits and Q's profits for these last few months here went to expenses, and that is mainly the truck. As you can see, that is a very large expense for us right now. As we continue to pay, we will have the truck paid off actually within about a year, and that number will drastically change, so definitely looking forward to that. But then as you see in blue, as we go down to the final line here, net profit and loss. So for the whole year, even with all of these really large expenses, right, still managed to make $67,724.54. That's only 31%, almost 32% of the total revenue made for the year. Now, when people tell you there's no money in trucking, you can take this and show them, yes, there is. There's money in trucking. Now, there's also expenses in trucking, okay? You're gonna have your deductions, but there is money to be made. Now let's take a look at this other year-to-date document. The point of this one is to show you the first 3 quarters of last year, 2019, what I made when I was running solo, full-time, over the road. But this is before my boyfriend came on the truck with me, so we get an idea of what the solo numbers look like. And fourth quarter's completely blank there, so it actually worked out very conveniently, given he came on the truck with me that fourth quarter. So we'll look at all the revenue, deductions, and total for the year to date as well, without that fourth quarter being a part of it. So I mostly wanted to focus on that third quarter there, of course, because that was my best quarter while I was on the road by myself. With a total revenue that quarter, at the end of the grid there, we see in green $60,035. I'm very proud of that. I'm sure there are many who have higher numbers than that, given I really don't like to run that much, but I am proud nonetheless. But let's work our way over from left to right. So we see IC Choice Fuel Surcharge, and then in green, $6,406.50 in that first quarter. Just below that, IC Choice Line Haul, $29,498.44. That being what the load pays out. So there's always a line haul pay plus a fuel surcharge pay. And those are just split there, but on the loads, typically when I book them, those are combined. So we see in that first quarter, let's see, at the bottom of that column, total revenue was $36,905.09. You know, not too bad. I was also taking some vacations frequently during that first quarter. Second quarter, let's see, $9,430.21 for the fuel surcharge that was paid out to me, and then $35,352 in line haul pay, totaling at the bottom there for the second quarter $44,946.49. I moved up that quarter from the first quarter, so that's definitely good to see. And then the third quarter being the best, the fuel surcharge $12,392, and line haul payout $44,362. And that total again for that third quarter revenue, $60,035. If you combine all of those up, we get the year-to-date number on the far right there in blue, which totals up to $141,886.58. So, you know, again, I say there is money in trucking. Now, there's definitely a lot of expenses that come with that. Still, yet again, we're going to see high numbers for the truck payment and fuel, but let's get to that. And here we are, the deductions. Dum dum dum. So for $141,000 made for the first 3 quarters of the year, we also have a lot coming out. So in red we see the IC fuel charge back being one of the largest expenses here, so I didn't really want to go over the other ones, but you're welcome to take a look at those. The fuel chargeback, meaning what I charged in fuel on my fuel card every quarter. First quarter was $10,533. Second quarter, $12,938. Third quarter, $15,375. We noticed the third quarter is much higher than the other quarters, as well as the revenue was higher, right? So that only makes sense. That means I was running a lot more and or running in regions of the country that fuel costs a bit more and the loads pay a little bit more. So there's the correlation there. And year to date, if we looked at just the 3 quarters by myself, in fuel alone, I spent $38,847. As we move down to this other section of deductions here, we'll see the ICSFI truck payment. Woohoo! The expensive lease payment, yeah. First quarter, $13,486 in truck payments. All by myself. That was a lot of money. It still is, but especially when I was starting the year off and taking a lot of time off, I felt that, because no matter how much time I take off, that payment is due every week. Looking at the second quarter, same number, $13,486, and third quarter, $18,599.06. Not 100% sure why it went up that quarter. I know I did increase the amount of money that I wanted to set aside for off time, so I'm pretty sure that's why. I was putting away about $300 extra every week to go towards just off time. So when I did take time off, that money was in an account waiting for me to make the truck payment from that. So the total for the year, well, for the 3 quarters, I paid $45,573.56, all in truck payments. And we go down, total deductions, quarter 1, $26,930, quarter 2, $29,712, quarter 3, $38,410. Year to date. Now, if I would have finished the year off there, it would have been $95,053.76 in deductions. Subtracted from that, $141,886, and we will look at that number as well. So looking at the year-to-date totals, total revenue $141,886.58, and then the deductions, what came out of that, $95,053.76. That is a lot in deductions, right? And so in the 3 quarters by myself running solo, I saw $46,832.82. That is money that actually hit my checking account. Everything else here is pretty much handled internally with the company, so the revenue and the deductions, I get the statements, but it's not like I get paid $141,000 and then I have to make payments to all of these things. It's all pretty automated, so that definitely made it easier. And the $46,000 in revenue, that's of course weekly, what I saw broken up into my checking account. So the only thing that would come out of that would be taxes, and you can kind of play with the numbers as far as your deductions go, which I did this year and last year in order to show a higher amount of revenue. Now there's a few considerations I want you guys to think about here. One of them being that I was leased onto a large carrier. Okay, I did not have my own authority. I would go on an app and pick my loads from my phone or a tablet, and basically what you see is what's available. You pick it, it's yours, you run it. It shows you what you'll be paid, so on and so forth. I really never sat waiting for loads. There's always loads available, and it was mostly drop and hook, dry van. So, you know, I deliver a load, drop the loaded trailer at the same place. I go over and I pick up an empty trailer, and I'm on my way off to the next place to pick up a loaded trailer, and the cycle repeats itself, right? The other benefit to being with the large carrier that you have to take into consideration is the large fuel discounts. So they were often 20 cents or more. It also depends on the area. Arizona and California, some of those states out there, you get a higher fuel discount since fuel is higher. But that definitely helps save me some money as far as fuel goes. Let's see here. One of the other considerations is that I lease a newer truck. So if you're thinking of leasing a 2008, your numbers might be fairly different, and your downtime might be different, considering you will probably have a lot of work that needs to be done. I got a 2018 Freightliner Cascadia, purchased it with 40,000 miles on it, barely used, and so everything is pretty much still under warranty, and bought it with no money down on a 3-year lease with a residual due at the end. Pretty much that just means at the end of 3 years, there'd be a large chunk of money that would be due. When I was solo, that amount was close to 70,000. Now that I'm team, the residual is about 50,000. But with that residual, you can release it, and your payment will change weekly so that it's paid off within a final year. Or you could always go to a bank and get them to finance it and have a monthly payment, or you could just pay the whole thing in a lump sum. That's always an option as well. The other thing to take into consideration is I run OTR, so all 48 states. If you are looking to run local or regional, the pay is going to be different. A regional driver running in Texas is going to make a different amount of money than a regional driver running in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It depends on the region, it depends on the company, it depends on availability, it depends on fuel, right? So all of these things to take into consideration. Lastly, the thing to consider is I'm slow, okay, and I take time off. I drive at about 65 miles an hour on average. I'm not speeding through the highways at 70, 80 miles an hour, just not for me. And I only drive about 8 to 10 hours a day, and I rarely take 34-hour resets because I typically recap my hours. So, I mean, you have to drive about 9 hours or less to be able to continuously recap, and I often do that. So compared to a lot of other drivers, I am not out here getting 650, 700 miles a day. No, more like 400, maybe 500, maybe 550 on a good day. Also with time off, so in the first 3 quarters there, showing my solo driver numbers, I took roughly 6 weeks off just in the first 3 quarters of the year. That's about 42 days, so a month and a half of time off. That's a lot more than a lot of over-the-road drivers will take off, because the more we're out there, the more we're making money, right? So if you run more hours than that, if you run more miles than that, if you take less time off than that, you should make more money than me. And that is exactly what I want. I want you to make more money than me. I want you to be smarter. I want you to learn from everything that I've done in this last year. My first year as a business owner, as an owner-operator, with my own truck. You know, I've had a lot of ups and downs, but I share because I want you to do better. I want you to see these numbers and know that there is a way to make good money as an owner-operator and with a lease truck. Now, all leases are not equal, so definitely do your research, and if you need information on the program that I'm doing for my truck, I'd happily share with you guys. But yeah, just take these numbers, take your life, your situation, and your finances into consideration when you look at truck driving. And if you're thinking about getting into it, understand, is $60,000 enough money for the year? Is $40,000 enough? Or do you need to try to do a finance truck and have reduced expenses and a little bit higher revenue to show for the year? But just take this and please learn from it, and I wish you the very best. I'm here if you have any questions or you need any help, I'm always happy to help.